another First Impressions video. So I literally just watched the first episode on Crunchyroll of Seirei Gensouki, Spirit Chronicles. It is about a boy who is in the slums, and he kind of just all of a sudden remembers his past life. The start of the show is kind of like this little kid saying to a little girl, this little boy saying to a little girl, that, her going, I don't want to go away, I want to see you, and he's like, we'll see each other again, when I'm older I'll come get you and we'll get married and we can be together forever. And then we get flash forward, and he's on a bus gets hit by a train. So, and then we get flash forward to a little kid who is, I don't know how old he is, I want to say like maybe 6, probably under 7. And he's wearing filthy clothing, has long, ragged hair, clearly not in a good environment. And he's kind of like figuring out what the fuck is going on. Apparently, in this world, he had like a fever, and quite clearly he's hungry. And he's kind of like, my name is Rio in this world, but then who the fuck is, who's this? Is this me? What's good? Like, he's clearly trying to figure out what the fuck just happened. And we get introduced to some typical thuggish slum dudes in anime. The guys that like work in the slums clearly do some suspicious shit. Some of those people. And they're carrying like a large sack. And they're eating and talking about a job and how well it's going to pay. And he's hungry, and obviously they're not taking care of him. And they're like, you smell horrible, go wash up, get out, you're making our food taste bad. And then while he's doing that and kind of like finding berries to like eat and stuff in his face, he's cleaned off now, he gets approached by a group of girls, some younger, about his age, and an older woman, probably mid-20s. They don't say, I'm just ballparking. And they're kind of questioning him, hey, have you seen a girl about your age with purple hair? And he's like, no. Like, one girl isn't saying anything. One girl who also has purple hair is being very rude. And then you have, like, the kind of adult talking, and then you have another girl saying, okay, just stop being, like, threatening and rude. Just let me talk to him. And she's like, can you please tell us if you've seen anything? And the purple hair girl's more hostile, like, you better tell us, and then the blonde hair girl's quiet, and perfect I forgot she was there. It's literally just the image of the episode, like the thumbnail for it. I'm like, oh yeah, there was another girl there. She never talked. And says that, and then he's like, sorry, I haven't. And he kind of mentions that they're dressed weirdly, and I'm like, what do you mean? And he's, and then this girl that was nice to him ends up using magic, finds out that he has magic and a lot of it, and then they go to change out of their clothes to get more appropriate wear for their environment. Like, even if you know nothing, one, why are you taking kids to a location that, even if they can use magic, you're in the slums? These people are desperate, and you're wearing very obviously vivid colored expensive clothing, especially compared to the environment. Like, even if you know nothing about the slums, wouldn't it make more sense to dress like the common folk in your city? That would make more sense. Like, it's very obvious, like, mage looking clothing. Like, who the fuck are you fooling? No one. And they get to change in more appropriate stuff, and then he kind of goes, or the girl who's nice to him kind of gives him a sack of money, and he tucks it underneath his shirt, because obviously slums. I'm not saying anything mean about people in rural slang. I'm just saying, in this anime and how they portray this stuff in anime, obviously if you have money, you're a target. So he realizes he's got money. She hands him the sack, he checks it, and he real quick looks around and then checks it and like puts it in his, like, tucks it underneath his shirt, because he knows, don't show that shit. And it goes back to the little house. I don't know what it's actually called. I want to say house, but let's be honest, it's like a very small room. And it feels more like a shack, but slightly bigger. Like, that's about the size. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. Like, I'm literally, that's kind of how my brain's processing how to describe it to you. And so yeah, he goes in there, and as soon as he opens the door, knife. But luckily, because he had tucked the money there, it hits the money instead. So there's an assassin, all the people who, the assholes, oh, they're dead. They're fucking dead. So now he kind of has to, like, fight off this assassin. And he manages to do that by, this, like, weird pink girl comes out, like, okay, I say that because it kind of feels like a spirit or something, but she has, like, a pink hue to her. It's like, okay, look. Here's how to use magic. Do this. She kind of, like, freezes time. I don't think she freezes time. I think it's one of those, like, anime bullshit things where, like, time slows down and just you can have a conversation. Clearly you fucking can't, but magic, so I guess yes. And he kind of, like, whoops, assassin dude's ass. Knocks him out. Like, oh my god. Like, it was so awesome. But, kind of manages to get his, like, knife hand, attach his full body on it, twist that fucker, and just... awesome. Yeah, but he's passed out, but alive. But all the others are dead, and so he goes over to the large sack thinking... yeah. And sure enough, it's the little girl. So he, like, opens the bag, and she's like, hey, what's going on? Where am I? And she's trying to talk to him, and of course he doesn't know what's going on, so he's like, what? And he's not really getting he's not really getting a word in edgewise, sorry. My brain just, And she, like, turns her head and sees a dead body, passes out. So he kind of, like, puts her on his back, and he, like, carries her out. And, of course, the other girl, the girls he was talking to before, the girl with the purple hair runs over, smacks him in the face. It's like, oh, you were lying, you did kidnap her. Obviously, it's, like, her sister. So, like, she's angry, she's freaking out, she's gonna be one of those hostile Tsundere girls, like, if she's not, I'm surprised, but she's definitely giving off those vibes to me. And then, so he kind of, like, lets her down, and they take her, and then, of course, the adult kind of points the sword at him and is like, you're gonna have to come with us, I'm gonna have to restrain you, you're gonna have to explain yourself. And, of course, he's like, I don't gotta do nothing, I don't gotta come with you. I don't want to come with you. Because he's smart. He knows what the fuck's going to happen. And he thinks about it for a second. And he's like, you know what? It's probably just going to be worse off if I don't. So just don't fight them. Just go with him. And, of course, the adult puts her sword down and says, if you didn't do anything, we'll let you go. Don't worry. And so, he gets taken. And they go to the kingdom. And, like, the adult and the purple-haired girl that was kidnapped... the purple-haired girl wakes up, and it's, like, her and, like, the girl that was nice to him. I don't remember her name, I'm sorry. Like, it's literally the first episode, I don't remember her name. But she's got silver hair, and her, like, kind of pigtails almost. She's the one that was nice to him. And then the adult, and then they're, like, the girl wakes up, find out she's actually, with the princess of this kingdom, the second princess, I think it's what she said. The adult said, or whatever. And she's like, okay, what happened, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, okay, what happened to this guy? And he's like, well, he has to be interrogated. And then we flash forward, and he's, like, hung on the wall with those, like, blonde dudes just, like, yelling and screaming. And almost the way he talks to him is like he's trying to get him to confess that he did, in fact, kidnap this girl. And this is just my theory, but I don't know if it's just that he was paranoid because he was supposed to be on guard, and now he's like, oh, fuck, if I don't get information, I'm fucked. Or is he just like, I need this boy to confess to hide shit? Because you're either real incompetent or you were in on it, is what I'm guessing. So he's freaking out, and he's literally beating this kid with, like, if you've seen One Piece, very further on in the series, we get a flashback of Luffy as a kid, and Ace, and Saburo. And, I don't know why I pronounced it that way, but it was fun. Like, just the way it rolls with the tongue was nice. And, Saburo and Ace are kind of saving up money, and then there's, what was his name? Something Jam? The Jampires, Blue Jampires, I think, whatever the fuck it was called. And they find out he has money, and they want to take that money, and so, Luffy kind of gets caught, and they proceed to beat him with, an object with spikes on it. And he doesn't talk, and just like this kid, he also does not talk. Because he's smart. Oh, by the way, in this previous life, he was like 20 or something. He's like a university student. So, like, obviously, he he's working with a more adult mind, essentially, just child body. And he doesn't say anything, but the thing they're hitting him with, like, it's not like they're just punching him. Like, no, they have this, I don't know what it is, but it's like a very thick wooden brick-like object. It looks like metal studs on it or something, and they're whacking him with that. And he's like tied up on the wall with his arms, so he can't do anything. And so the princess finds out he's being interrogated, so she's like, okay, go get my dad. I want to see him because he saved me. And then the girl is nice to him with the silver hair and the pigtails, and the adult open the door and they see him, black and blue. And they are fucking horrified, especially the little girl. She's just like, oh my god, I am so sorry, are you okay? And he kind of like passes out, and the little girl heals him and kind of explains, this is my name, I'm so sorry this happened to you, and we're gonna need you to go see the king because he wants to talk to you. And he immediately is like, I'm sorry to bother you, but can you please teach me etiquette because I do not know any. And she's like, sure, of course. And then the end of the show is him kind of cleaned up, his hair shorter, he looks like he's kind of in the military uniform, and he's kind of going before the king. And then that's kind of like the end of the episode. So, already really liking this show. Like, it's kind of reminding me of a lot of things, and a lot of things I can't think of. Because it's reminding me of specific shows, but like my brain just can't remember what those shows are. Or who he reminds me of. But, I'm really excited for this. Another detail I forgot until just now, I'm sorry, is that he's an orphan. He had a mom, and looked like they were probably commoners. Like, it looked like they had like a cute little cottage somewhere. And then we have a flashback of kind of like her being attacked. I'm assuming killed rather than like essayed or anything, but they kind of like shadowed it out, so you can't really tell exactly what's going on. Just enough to see that like it's his mom. She's hurt somehow, and there's some creepy dude looking at him. And it's kind of like seen from his perspective. The kid's perspective. Main character's perspective. His name is Rio, I'm sorry. Rio's perspective. And that he wants to get revenge, and that's why he's in the slums. Other than that, that's kind of all real information we have about him. And also we saw a little bit of a flashback that he did martial arts in his previous life. And we know that in this life as Rio, before his mom died, he had a mom, he lived in like a little cottage, and they were talking about that they're actually foreigners, or they're immigrants, or whatever. But it's a nice little cottage, like they're not worse off at the time, it looked like. Just like a cute little cottage you find in the woods with flowers and shit. And they're talking about, they're from a place called Yagumo, and that the reason we have black hair is we're immigrants, and then like I had it, and like your grandpa and your grandma has it, and he's like, oh, I want to meet them, and like, okay, well, we're from this place, and you know what, I'll take you to see them sometime. And that's kind of like all the information we have. No, there's one more thing. A flashback of his life, he's remembering that little girl, seeing her later, and she's talking to a boy. So you can tell just the way his facial expressions that, oh, she's with someone else now. And that's kind of really everything that happened in the first episode. But I'm already intrigued. I'm going to keep watching. I can't wait for the next episode. Unfortunately, I don't know what day episodes are coming out. Sorry. Again, my brain not there. I really liked it. Oh god, my first thought is like, I've seen the Tsundere Girl so many times, but like I immediately, just because it's one of the animes I've seen most recently, is was it? Also, Masho Tensei, that's fucked up. I think that's wrong in so many levels. Is the girl from that show? Or a better reference, probably Taiga from Toradora. I didn't really like that show. I didn't hate it, but I didn't see what I was like, oh, it's so amazing. I was just kind of like, right. Anyway, so yeah, I would definitely check it out. I can't wait for more episodes, and I'm going to watch some more new stuff and do reviews. I don't know if I'll do any more tonight. I also don't know if I'm going to do episode by episode reviews. I think I do want to try that for a series, but like I said, I'm very much a in the moment person. I don't do notes. I don't research. It's very much I watch a thing. I want to talk about a thing. I talk about the thing. It comes out however it comes out. Like like you've seen, it's very chaotic. A lot of like, oh yeah, fuck, I forgot to tell you this, and oh fuck, I forgot about that, and oh, you need to know this. And very chaotic, but hopefully you enjoy that type of content. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. If you do want me to do a review on the next episode, maybe I will. It would be nice to know someone actually wants to hear my opinion and my chaotic thoughts or lack thereof of just anime in general. Because I like talking to myself, I guess. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos. Comment. Seriously, tell me what you think. Are you excited for this show? Have you read like manga light? I don't know where the fuck it came from. Are you excited? Do you think they did a good job? If you have seen it so far, compared to the manga, are they leaving a bunch of things out? Like, don't tell me everything. Like, again, try not to do any spoilers. But you know, like, just like, oh, it seems like they changed this, or you know, like, don't tell me everything. But like, hey, well, it looks like they left this, or you know, a few things out, but you know, they did this, or they did a really good job of that, and I wish they did something like this, more like the manga, or what, like, I don't know, just conversation would be nice. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to go watch other stuff. Hopefully you're all doing well, and you got the vaccine. Unfortunately, I am not vaccinated. I have to go and get my ID. Because the last ID I had was a school ID, and I haven't seen that fucker in years. I think that was middle school. So, like, I haven't had a DD for a long time. So now I have to get an ID and other stuff like that before I can even get the vaccine. But thankfully, I never leave the house. And everyone else in my house is vaccinated. So, that's good. But yeah. Bye.